How should I tell you about Sadie O'Green and the remarkable tale of her Wuz-Buz machine? I suppose I should start at the start, as it was at the start when she thought up this thing called Wuz-Buz. Well, Sadie O'Green had this idea in her head to build a machine to do her work instead. So all day and all night, Sadie worked as she sat, as she drew up some sketches of this and of that. The days turned to weeks. Sadie sat in her chair, the weeks into months. She came close to despair. But she thought, and she worked, and she tried, as she knew with a little more effort, she would know what to do. Well, Sadie worked very hard as she always had done. She worked in the house, because the house was more fun. And it wasn't much longer before Sadie O'Green screwed the last screw in her Wuz-Buz machine. She put it together with some things which she had. She used 2 umbrellas in case one would go bad. She used some utensils and a crankcase and mitt and put 3 ball bearings and some old gum on it. She used her computer and things from the kitchen, and when she turned it all on, it would burp and start twitching. It would drip awful, slimy, green, smelly goo, but you hardly could see it through the smoke that it spewed. And Sadie O'Green, through the smoke, smell, and goo, smiled, because she knew what her Wuz-Buz could do. She took the remote and left the thing on and went to another part of the farm where the smell wasn't bad and the air not so thick, and she'd not have to stand in the green slimy ick. She sat on some hay with the remote in one hand and carefully issued the first Wuz-Buz command. "I'd like something to drink," she said. "Make it sweet." And quick as a wink was a glass by her seat, with a drink clean and clear and filled to the top, and certainly sweet. Sadie drank every drop. The rest of the day was kind of the same, with Sadie reclining and enjoying this game. Certainly, I could make more Wuz-Buz machines and sell them to everyone, thought Sadie O'Green. It was easy, in fact. As Sadie instructed, the Wuz-Buz, more Wuz-Buzzes constructed, and she took them around on the net and TV, and everyone wanted a Wuz-Buz, you see. Well, Sadie O'Green kept selling her best and forgot all about the slimy green mess and the smoke in the air and the gunk on the ground and the smell you would smell with a Wuz-Buz around. And few who bought the machine seemed to care if it spewed out a mess or polluted the air. They just added a room to the back of their home with a hose running out to the street or the lawn, and they lay in a chair or a couch or bed and let their Wuz-Buzzes do their work instead. Well, Sadie O'Green didn't stop for an instant when the mountains all seemed just a little more distant, when the grass stopped to grow or the water turned sour, as it did more each day with each passing hour. Things got pretty bad. The clouds turned dark gray, and the sky was now orangish red in the day. When it rained, it was thick, and it was black, and it stuck, and the only stuff green was the slime, smelly yuck. Then, it wasn't much longer before Sadie O'Green realized the horror of her Wuz-Buz machine, that she was, in fact, the responsible one for everything wrong the Wuz-Buz had done. And she told all the people through all of the towns, "Turn off your Wuz-Buzzes and shut them all down. Throw them away just as fast as you can before they destroy what is left of the land." But nobody cared. Well, maybe a few, for most had grown lazy with nothing to do. Then Sadie, perplexed and trembling with fear, imagined the end of the world might be near. You see, when nothing can grow and nothing can breathe, then nothing can live, no matter what you believe. Then, at last, Sadie thought of the perfect solution to the oodles and oodles of Wuz-Buz pollution, and she turned and she said as she pushed her remote, "Clean up the mess you have made with your smoke, and clean up the slime and the green smelly goo and everything caused by the things that you do. And when you're all done with my simple request, fix every Wuz-Buz so it makes no more mess." And in a minute or two, the whole town looked brand new. No more smoke, no more gunk, no more green smelly goo. The air was quite crisp and the mountains looked fine, and up in the sky you could see the sunshine. And Sadie cried as she looked and saw everything new, and she laughed as she saw what her Wuz-Buz could do. Then she ran to the back of the farm where there was a small wooden shed where she kept her Wuz-Buz.